Welcome everybody to Tuesday's pop-up Q&A. We are live here on YouTube and Facebook. So while we're waiting for people to show up and post their questions, what kind of questions would be useful to ask me today? Would be questions about your health. I'm not a doctor, but I will give you my energetic perspective and energetic read on what's going on with you. It could be things related to love and relationships. It could be things related to wealth, prosperity, your business. So I'll give you my energetic perspective of things. I'll look at things and also a little energy clearing on whatever's going on with you. So while we're waiting, I wanted to talk about something that was a little interesting that happened this past week. And I have a client who's writing a book. She's a historian that is writing a book about Lady Freedom. This is a statue that's on the Capitol Dome. I didn't know it was there. Probably most people don't know it's there. There's this cloak of invisibility on her. And so we decided that I would do a clearing and a healing on this statue. I know that statues can have entities that reside in them and who the statue has been attributed to. So it's very fascinating for those of you who know the system that I use and who possibly have my book, know that some of the things that I'm going to be talking about or mentioning here are mentioned in the book. So one of the things was that she only had 2 creative rings above her head. So I've never seen that before. Usually like the minimum anyone has is 3. We have up to 50 rings that we use to create our reality with. And as we said hello to what she desires and what her hopes and dreams are, you know, why she was originally created for representing freedom, then another ring popped up. And so we did this clearing, and before we know it, I think that we ended up with at least 10 rings. And it was very interesting that she had no grounding cord. And there was a lot of anger and powerlessness. So I thought that was just very interesting. I don't think I ever did a healing on a statue before. And the fascinating thing was within a few days, she had a very profound experience with an indigenous woman, East Coast, who gave her more information that she needed about bringing the history of this statue to her book. So that was very profound, very big opening that's happening there. So I decided the other day, well, what if I cleared the Statue of Liberty? And I wrote down what the definition of liberty is, because, is it on here? Let's go on. It's on another piece of paper. Darn. Well, it basically, you can look up the definition. That it basically means that we have the right to choose as we desire, like what's best for us. And it's synonymous with freedom. And so we certainly don't see much of that on the planet right now, right? We see a lot of lockdown. We see a lot of this. We see a lot of this. And so I'm not going to say, for those of you who follow me, you know what I'm talking about. And so all of our freedoms are slowly being taken away. And so I decided to do this healing on the Statue of Liberty. So very interesting that she has 50 rings. So that's as many rings as you can have. So she has a great capacity for creating the freedom that she represents for our nation of the United States. And she also had no grounding, excuse me. And she also had a lot of that powerless energy and so forth. So I just thought it was interesting that since I've done that clearing, she's remained clear, as well as the Statue of Freedom. So these are icons that represent what our country was originally founded on. And little by little, what is supposed to be represented by these things has sort of gone away. So little by little, our freedoms are coming back. Like people are no longer, like we've had a whole year of seeing what's really going on. At least most of us, or a lot of us, can see what's really going on behind the scenes and all the manipulation that's being created around the V word and all of this. And so, and if you're still, you know, on the side of not knowing what's really behind all of that, then, you know, that's okay. There's still a lot of people who are waking up. But I think there's a greater number that have woken up to the games that are being played, and people are not wanting to participate anymore. So people are, you know, there've been a lot of protests and so forth, but people are just not going to comply. And for those who are complying, who are have been manipulated by the fears enough that they are going to comply with this thing, then I believe that that is part of their path, their karmic path. And there are going to be people who are going to go by the wayside as a result of all of that fear and doing this. And so, you know, that's unfortunate and it's heartbreaking. And at the same time, it's really our job to just continue to stay in our core, to not be pulled out with all of the distractions, to stay in our core so that we can elevate ourselves, which is going to elevate the global consciousness, which is what, you know, we create everything. The global consciousness is creating what's happening on the planet. And because more and more people are waking up, I think this year, I mean, all of this chaos is still going to go on for a few more years. Excuse me. However, I believe that this year we're going to see a lot more darkness being exposed. So a lot more of the human trafficking, child pornography, and as well as what all of that is being used for, which is the most heinous addiction on the planet. And for those of you who have woken up, you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to say what it is. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay as well, because people are still waking up to the darkest crimes on the planet that are slowly being revealed. And for those of you who are having a hard time, you know, even with the fact that so many people are now dying because of doing this, that, you know, then we're not ready for even darker things that are happening on the planet. So anyway, our job is to stay in these high vibrations so that we can keep lifting not only ourselves up, but others on the planet. And so that's why you keep coming here, is I am here to help you eliminate those lower vibrating energies that bring our vibration down. And so, you know, when I do the Friday's inspiration and that long meta clearing, it's not just a nice kind of feel good thing. You know, we're literally eliminating the energies in you that are bringing your vibrations down. And so that's the whole point of coming here. And so for those of you who don't know me, I'm an international energy expert. I've been doing this work for about 20 years. And most of my awakening was the result of a couple things. One, working with Dr. David Hawkins Scale. He created a scale of human consciousness. I broke through that scale in 2012 after about 25 ayahuasca journeys over 5 years. So I've had you know, my journey, of course, has been gradual, just like all of yours. And, but there's always more, right? There's always more we can expand into. So I am ready for your questions. Let me get some clean glasses here first so I can see what your questions are. So be sure to post those and then we can see what's going on. Hey, Brema. Okay, I think there's some people before you. Oh my goodness, thank you so many of you for showing up today. Hey, Z. And I like to also give some of the new people a chance to ask questions. Aisha, I don't know if I've seen you before. It says, I have a lot of fear and anxiety. I am also very resistant about change. Any change scares me and it keeps me stuck. I would be grateful to get it cleared. So, fear and anxiety. So, yes, this is a very common feeling, and it's actually an energy that's being created by those who are creating mind control on the planet. The hows of how they do it are, it's not that it's irrelevant, it's that in some ways it is irrelevant. The main thing is that they are controlling us. And so, I refer to this as the 1% and the reptilian energies. And so, what they do is, fear is their greatest tool. And they're using it on everyone because it's effective. It creates that stop energy, it stops you from moving forward. So, Aisha, let's see where this is in you. And then, and this will help all of you who are experience the same thing because, what I'm doing with Aisha will also energetically, you'll be able to tap into what I'm doing with her and you'll be able to do the same thing. So the first place is right here in the sixth chakra. So this is where beliefs are held. So a lot of fears, fear of the future, fear of the unknown, and let's see what else. Out to that third layer. So that's a fear of being powerless, that fear of being controlled. So we're just pulling these beliefs in right at that sixth chakra. So we can just send it down the central cord, down that grounding cord. And here's another thing is, Aisha, you're not grounded. So there's no place for all the energies that you're holding. There's no place for it to go. So they just go round and round and create more anxiety. So let's give you a grounding cord. So that's that line of energy. I like to make it like big, like a pipe, not a skinny little string. And we're going to attach that from the base of your spine, and it's going to go all the way to the center of the planet. And you're just going to set that on release, like gravity is working. There's no effort in this. It's not like you have to push things down. If you just set it on release, everything will start draining. So, okay, so now you're grounded. And so now, as we're releasing those energies, those beliefs that are not yours, down the central core, it's going to go down that grounding cord. Okay, there you go. 7, 6, 5. And then in the heart, that in the heart, out to that third layer. So this is where, like, it's almost like you're judging yourself for feeling afraid or having any anxiety. So we're just going to drop that judgment down the grounding cord. What you're experiencing is, I would say, normal in view of things and common, but it's not how we're meant to operate by any means. So we're just dropping all those judgments and those fears down your grounding from your heart. And then 4, 3, 2, and then right at the root chakra. So at our root chakra, there's a circle of energy that radiates around our root, and it's called the worry circle. So this holds all of your worries, stress, anxiety, doubts, fears, uncertainty. And so all we have to do is pull this circle in all the way into the core as we're just dumping all of that anxiety down the grounding cord. And so you might notice if you're starting to feel a little calmer. So this is, and it's not just my voice that's, some people say, oh, you have such a soothing voice. It's not my voice that's calming you down. We're releasing the literal energies that are creating the anxiety. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's measure how much fear you have in your energy field. So I didn't measure it before, but now it's down to 15%. So let's see where that last little bit is, because like this is what I do is I measure things, and so then we know if we got all of it. It's one thing to kind of guess and based on symptoms, but it's another thing to know if we actually got all the energies. So we're gonna go, let's see, 15%. So in the root, out to that third layer, there's still some anxiety and fear. It's that fear of the future. Is also down here, the fear of, let's see, there's also a fear of dying. So that's also a common fear. And when we have a fear of dying, we can be easily manipulated. Like people will do anything because they're afraid of dying, including this, and which in the end may have the opposite of effect of what you're trying to avoid. So at any rate, we are, that's people's choices based on their decisions. I would never do it. Anyway, let's, the rabbit, that's the rabbit. She's not happy. Okay, so we are sending all of that fear down the grounding, even that fear of dying. There we go. So now your fear is at 0. So it would be helpful if you let other people know if you're feeling calmer. I know this works, so this is not for me. This is for other people who wonder, like, does this work? I don't really know. This is a little weird. So anyway, hopefully that will help how you're feeling. Okay, great. So thanks for asking, Aisha, and thanks for coming on. Okay, so Sakisha from India, thank you for staying up late. I know it's late there. Sakshi, sorry. Can you please clear me of my PCOD and insulin resistance? PCOD, I don't know what that is. Maybe you can let me know. So I'm not a doctor, and I don't heal people. If anything, I'm helping you to heal yourself. So insulin, that tells me that you have an issue with diabetes. I know my mother was a diabetic, my sister's a diabetic. And so one of the things I do with body issues and I want to say the word illness or disease, but again, I'm not a doctor, but I like to measure. So I work with energy. So I'll measure the percentage that your pancreas is working. So it's at about 50%. So energetically, what we're going to do is find out where in your energy field is creating this inability to create the proper amount of insulin for your body. In the root chakra, out to that third layer. So there's a part of you that feels powerless. And that relates also to maybe you've been taught or told that, once you have this particular disease, that then you have to become dependent on insulin. So what I'm doing here is I'm releasing the energy in your root chakra that tells you you don't have the power to, 1, regenerate, to heal your body, and 2, the power to even create what your body needs. So we're releasing that energy there. Okay, so let's remeasure the pancreas. So let's see, hang on just a second. Let's see if you're, okay, so if you could tell me what that acronym stands for, then I might be able to help you even more. So pancreas, let's remeasure it. So just clearing that little bit energetically caused the pancreas to come up to 100%. Whether it's going to stay there or not is another question. So that's how learning how to do what I do is helpful and beneficial so that you can start mastering your own energy. I know that for myself, I had a bladder infection, 10 years ago. And I've been plagued with chronic bladder infections until I had to have surgery, and which didn't help. So finally, I started applying these energetic principles to this. And I had to go on antibiotics because the infections kept coming back. And so the final time I started working with the calibrations and I started measuring. And so as I noticed, as I was taking the antibiotics, that my bladder started gradually, the numbers started going up all the way up to 100% when I was done with the antibiotics. Well, shortly thereafter, I stayed on track of measuring the numbers, and they slowly started coming down before I even started experiencing symptoms. And so I let it come down a little bit further until I started to experience some symptoms. Then what I did is I took my hands and I put them over my bladder and I started counting. So I counted the percentage, like where is it at 50%? And then I just kept counting, but paying attention to where the numbers would stop. So this takes a great deal of paying attention and really listening, knowing how to get that internal yes or no. But I would count. And so as the numbers started to come up, I'm counting, and then it would stop. And then I would just wait. I'm waiting for the energies to clear. Like my body knows how to heal itself. So I would wait, and then the numbers, then I could start counting again. And the numbers started going up and up and up, and then it stopped again. So I kept doing that until the numbers got all the way up to 100%. And so I would do that over the days to come, over the next few days. And I just kept doing that until I could keep it at 100% all the time. And that bladder infection never came back. So that's how I personally healed my own problems with my own bladder. Had chronic bladder infections my whole life since I was 12 years old. So energy works. So, okay. So where were we? We were talking about insulin. Okay, so that the pancreas is now at 100%. Oftentimes there's other issues along with the pancreas. So let's check your gallbladder. See, that's also at 50%. Same place where the same issue is in the root, third layer. So we're going to clear that. And so so a lot of this relates to digestion and the pancreas, that sweetness in life. Okay, so gallbladder. So that's at 100% now. Let's check your thyroid. That's also another, these are all part of the endocrine system. Thyroid, also only at 50%. Also in the same place, at the root. So you have this fear of stepping into your power. And this is showing up in these organs and in this whole system. So it's trying to all work together, but it's having a hard time. So those are just three. And so pancreas, gallbladder, and thyroid. So the gallbladder is at 100% now. Thyroid is also at 100%. So that would be the beginning of learning how to do this on your own so that you could keep those at a high vibration every day so that those organs can work at a full capacity every single day. All right, let's see what else we have here. Brenna, I have been experiencing very unsettling thoughts. They are pretty hard to get rid of, and I am having a hard time understanding where they're coming from. Can you please help? Okay, so my immediate response or thought is the 1%. So they use mind control. They can, how they do it, I don't know, but they do. They send thoughts out into the ethers, however they do that. And it creates, the way I consider this 1% energy is they create this global thinking, this global mindset that's sort of along the lines of this, that you're going to feel like the free range slave, that you have to work very, very hard for the machine. And if you're struggling and suffering, it's your fault. And then when you look around, you see everybody struggling, you just figure that's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So this is part of that 1% energy. So I want to measure what percentage are they and the reptilian energy in your energy field. So right now, the 1%, I think it was Brahma, right? 95%. So that's very, very high. Along with those thoughts that you know are not yours, there will be a feeling of being very tired, very tired. Like the kind of tired where you just have to lay down. You just, like if you're driving, which is one of the worst times for it to happen, is you have a hard time keeping your eyes open. And so you may be tempted when you have this tired feeling to go get coffee or to go get something to stimulate you. Well, that's going to be a temporary fix because they're still going to get into your energy field. And the thing that makes it really hard to know or to even believe that this is true is that it comes and goes. One day it'll be at 95%, an hour later it'll be down to almost zero. It's like they do like this. And so this makes you believe that it must be you because you're feeling it, you're thinking it, and it comes and goes. And so no one would ever think or imagine that they have, however they do it, this way of manipulating what we actually think and how we feel about ourselves. So let's remove their energy from your energy field. And maybe you can let me know if you've also been feeling tired, because that's also a very common symptom of this energy. Let's hang on. Okay, but it's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts. Okay, I'll get back to that. So the 1% is at 95%. So the first place that they are is right here in your sixth chakra, influencing how you think. So we're going to go out to, in this case, they're out to the 15th layer. Sometimes it's all the way out to the 30th layer. That's the reptilian energy. But here's that 1%. So we're going to pull in this energy all the way into the core of your sixth chakra. And we're 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. It pulls into the fourth layer. So the fourth layer is going to relate to the ways that it makes you judge yourself. Like they're instilling or installing thoughts, programs that cause you to be really hard on yourself and judge yourself. So we're going to pull all of that in, and we're going to lift it up. We're going to lift it up through the central core, because these energies that relate to the 1%, fear entities, control beings, and the reptilians all should be going off planet. So we're going to send that and all those beliefs and programs up and out through that central core. Also in the solar plexus. So if you've been feeling tired, that's not your energy as well. So this is what they want, is they're trying to control humanity in as many ways as possible. And so you know all the ways. I don't need to keep talking about it. So this is making you feel tired and also powerless. It might have some fear in here. Yes, it has fear as well. So this is going, it's only going out to the third layer, so we can send that down the grounding. All that fear, fear of the future, fear of the unknown. Okay, great. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then also in the root chakra. So this is usually their favorite place to hang out, is right at the root, because they know if they disable the root, then everything above it is affected. So sometimes you'll find days when that's all they do, is just work on the root chakra. So let's go out to all the way out to that 15th layer. So we're going to pull in that worry circle with all of that worry, stress, anxiety, doubts, fears, uncertainty, fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of dying. All of that stuff is in here. So it pulls in, the circle is pulled into that third layer where there's that fear of stepping into our power. So we're going to pull this up through the central core as we continue to talk about this. And so this feeling powerless, feeling afraid to step into our power. So a lot of us are not afraid to step into our power because no one else is stepping into their power. We just go along with everybody who's doing this because, you know, maybe it's out of respect for other people's fears. I do that. But at the same time, yeah, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, we're just going to release these fears of the 1%. Okay, good. Let's remeasure this fear of the 1% in your energy field is at 15%. Let's get all of it. That's really important. So we're going to go back up here to the 6th chakra. There's still a little bit here. Out to the 2nd layer, which is the fear. So, so one is a fear of the future. So we don't know what's going to happen next, right? We're just been given surprise after surprise after surprise. And a lot of you are struggling with what's even happening already. We're looking at people, first people were dying because of this, the V word, and now people are dying because of this. And so this is sort of the beginning of even darker things that are going to be revealed. So if we can't handle what's happening now, then we're going to have an even harder time as more of the darkness comes up and out for it to be revealed, for it to be eliminated. So by doing this every single day, eliminating this 1% energy out of our energy field, making sure that we're ultra grounded, that we're in our core, then we're going to be less affected. We're going to be less traumatized by what we see going on around us because we're in our core. So let's just take those last bits of fear out of that 6th chakra. And we're going to lift that up through the central core, sending that off planet. Okay, great. And then let's measure the 1%. And so all of you that are listening, you are also benefiting from what I'm doing for Brahma because you're all being affected by this energy. So let's remeasure the 1% now, because I'm basically working on all of you at the same time. The 1% is now at 0. So let me know if you feel any different, if you feel calmer, if you feel less anxious. So super important to do this on a regular daily basis. And okay, hang on. Oh, so many comments. So we started with Sakshi, who was, and I asked her to define what that PCOS is. It's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. Ovary syndrome. Okay, a polycystic ovary system. Okay, got it. So ovaries and cysts. So it looks like your whole endocrine system is off. And so let's, was it the ovaries and what is, it was just the ovaries, okay. And cysts on the ovaries. Yeah, so the ovaries are only functioning at about 15%. And so it looks like I don't know if you know this or not, but it looks like there was some sexual abuse at let's see, maybe at about the age of 15. And so that is another important part about clearing all of this, because that's the underlying energy that's causing the disorder. So we're going to go to the sixth chakra, and we're going to clear that powerless energy that got created then. And more than 50% of you here, the women, have experienced sexual abuse in some form. So you will also benefit from what I'm doing here. And some of you may not even know it. I know I didn't know that I was sexually abused until I was well into my adult years, and discovered that I was sexually abused from the age of 2.5 until I went to kindergarten. So at any rate, 6, 5, 4. We're going to go to the heart, out to that third layer. So this is where you've been blaming yourself for what happened, and so we're just helping you let go of all the judgments, so bringing all of this energy into present time, because when you're operating from the past and bringing that past into the future constantly, then you're going to just keep dragging all that old energy with you. So I want to help you bring some forgiveness in if you think you've been judging yourself, and just drop all of the ways you've been making yourself wrong and feeling bad about all of that. 7, 6, 5, 4. And also at the solar plexus, out to that third layer, the powerlessness of all of that. Okay, that was big, very. And so when that powerlessness carries on into other things, like I'm powerless to heal my body, I'm powerless over my body is just taking over, and my body's controlling me. And then that becomes the story, when really underlying all of that is your own feelings of powerlessness. In the second chakra, out to that third layer, there's a lot of anger and rage in here. So we're going to let that go down the grounding. Okay, good. Because it's like all those cysts are collected pockets of anger and rage. So we're just going to help you release that down the grounding. And so this is, not like a waving of the magic wand here. These are things that should be checked up on energetically, so that you can keep these organs in a high vibration. And then in the root, all the way up to the 25th layer. So that's fear. Fear at your root, which is going to make you afraid to step into your power, and which goes across the board, feeling powerless to heal ourselves, feeling powerless to take our feminine energy back. And there's a couple other things I want to measure. So one is your feminine energy, because an experience like that will cause us to shut our female energy down, which is going to prevent us from really stepping into our sovereignty. Yes, your feminine energy is only at 15%. So let's find out why, so you can access all of your feminine energy. And so in the sixth chakra, out to the third layer. So there's a belief in there that the feminine is a weak energy, which is a lie. The feminine energy is extremely powerful, and it's the energy of the heart. It has the capacity to self-generate love, to access our infinite intelligence, which is that part of us that just knows. And this is why the feminine energy is being called forward at this time, when the earth and humanity needs more healing than ever before. So we need our feminine energy. 6. Then we're going to go down to the root, also out to that third layer where it doesn't feel safe to step into your feminine power. So we're just going to send that down the grounding. Okay, good. Oh, okay, great. So let's see where the feminine energy is now. It's at 100%. So I didn't do any work on your ovaries, but I'm curious if all of this helped to bring the energy of your ovaries up to a higher vibration capacity. I think we started at 15%. So now the ovaries are at 100%. So you can see how all of these underlying issues can create physical problems in the body, and these kinds of things are responsible for all of the dis-ease that we find in our bodies and in our energy field. And so I'm a strong believer that the body has amazing capacities to heal itself if we just can support it and help raise the vibration so that everything is functioning at a full capacity. So again, I'm not a doctor. This is all just my energetic input and perspective. And we are going to go over to Facebook. I think you're feeling neglected over here. Sorry, guys. Wow. Hey, Michael, Jalba, Denise. Yes, Michael's from Australia, Brisbane. Here, it appears that human consciousness is rising fast. It is. Once we can collectively clear past life, and the residual trauma in the world, we can all unite in unconditional love into a new golden age. Yes, we are in the golden age, if we can just catch up, right? All the old constructs and organized society are collapsing in front of us. Hence, the movement is unstoppable and a magical time in universal history. I agree with you 100%. You know, it's like this movement that's unstoppable makes me think of like this herd of buffalo that, you know, one guy wants to get water, but the whole herd's not ready yet, right? Not ready until it reaches that 51%. And then they all start moving in that direction of water. And then there's no turning back. They're just moving, they gain momentum, and then before you know it, the whole herd is going. And so we are already moving in the direction of water. It's just that more and more people are catching up and getting into the whole group of us that are going. Okay, let's see about some new people here. Hey, Bhavarti, good to see you too. Denise Grant, I've been getting really tired these last 6 weeks. Can you check my energy? Okay, great. So that could also be that 1% energy that we cleared earlier, but let's see what else could be contributing to Denise's tiredness. Makes me want to look at her solar plexus and checking for cords. so when people are plugged into our solar plexus, they're trying to manipulate what you do. And maybe they want you to do things for them. So there's some people, or maybe they just want you to slow down. You're getting too far ahead of them, or they don't like where you're going or what you're doing, so they want to control you. So Denise, you have 5 people plugged into your solar plexus. Let's pull them out. So we don't cut, we never cut, leaves residual energy. We're going to gently pull these cords out, roots and all, and we're just going to gently send this energy back to the people it belongs to. So Denise, whenever you're feeling tired, you don't have to wait 6 weeks to get some relief. You can just try this yourself. First, you can feel, pass your hand down the midline and see if you can feel where it gets a little spongy. Then you can feel if there is an energy cord. And then you can just gently intend to pull that energy all the way out and send it back to those people. So right now, you have 0 cords in your solar plexus. So hopefully that will help. And and so cords, yes, cords can plug into any one of your chakras. And she's also from the UK, Denise. Great, thanks for showing up. Denise, check how far she's in her body now. After the report, I did a lot of practicing. I wonder if I'm in my body more now. Okay, great. So this is a common thing that happens. People will not occupy their bodies all the way because it's not a comfortable place to live if you're holding a lot of these energies like fear and anger and rage, and especially if you don't have a grounding cord. All that stuff's just going to stir around. So let's see how far Denise is in her body now. 100%. So great job, Denise. So Denise got a vibrational altitude report, and it measures more than 40 different things: your martyr, victim, shame, anger, people courting to you, outgrown guides, feminine energy, how high your money vibration is, 40 things. And so then, if you have your own tools, you can use the report as a way to see if you can clear your own stuff. And of course, I offer some suggestions in there on how you can work with me if that's also something that interests you. But it all starts with a vibrational altitude report. So great job, Denise, getting back in your body. Super important to be in our bodies 100%, because that's where all the information is, right? If we are getting downloads of information, or even using our antenna, which is our aura, to sense what's going on, we need to be connected to our bodies all the way to be able to know the information that's coming in. So if you're not in your body all the way, you're not gonna be able to fully know what's going on. Great job. Okay, Jalpa, I've pulled a nerve. So Jalpa is also from India, I think, like a sciatic pain, and it's running all through my right side, right shoulder, hip, calf is stiff, sensitive, all the way to my toes. Would be great if you could clear, and wonder what stemmed it. It's pretty severe. So the right side is our masculine giving side. So this could be a sign, Jalpa, that you are maybe working a little too hard, and I know you have a tendency to be working really hard and doing a lot. So I want to measure your martyr. Yes, so that's at 100%. So let's find where your martyr is, Jalpa, so that you're not working so hard. It's like your right side, that masculine side, is screaming at you, saying, "Stop! It's too much." So the martyr in the heart, out to that third layer. So this is part of an old program and story that you've been running about proving your value and so you're working really hard to show that you're worthy enough, etc. So there's no judgments about any of this stuff, it's just how we are operating. And we operate on a lot of old programs. So I'm helping you release this energy at the heart. Okay. We're just going to send all of that hard-working martyr down the grounding cord. Okay. 6, 5. And then also down in the root chakra, out to that third layer. And so that kind of has two effects. One, so you are grounded, but one is that fear of stepping into your power. So when you're stepping into your power, things are more magnetically happening, like things come to you instead of you having to chase after everything or, having to do so much. So we're pulling in this energy at the root so you can send all of that energy down your grounding. Okay, great. And then, let's see, 7, 6. Yeah, your central orbit is clear. The giving and receiving is clear. Your circle of reciprocity. So that's good. And a worry circle is out to that third layer. So let's pull in your worry circle so you're not worrying. I know your parents are on your mind a lot going on there. Okay, good. And so, learning how to delegate and having other people help you so that you're not having to do everything is will also be good. So let's remeasure the martyr. It's at 0 now. And martyr, victim, shame, and anger are all at 0. So that's really good. So sciatic, let's see, that right side. Yes, it is running kind of slow on that right side. So this it sounds like it could also be partially mechanical, where, like the spine and the nerves are actually literally pinched and it's not just all an energetic issue. So you might consider getting some body work done or seeing a chiropractor and creating a better, alignment in your physiology. So that would be another suggestion. Okay, good. So keep me posted on how that is. And I think we have maybe time for one more. Oh my goodness, so many people here. Thank you everyone for showing up today. Selling thoughts. Okay, look at my wealth. I always attract money but lose it through unexpected things like bills. And yeah, so that's, Gaia, let's see, is at, yeah, your money is not quite at infinity. Your money is at, let's see, 100. It's at 250,000, which is right before you break through to infinity. So it's nice and high, but it's not all the way. So we're going to do this last really quick thing for everyone, which is how to ground your money pile. And while I'm thinking of it, a few things too. So I'm going to be, I know I've been saying this, but I'm actually going to be meeting with someone later today about doing a new updated 20-minute meditation. Half of that includes raising your money vibration. But you can use the one that's available right now to run your energy every day. This will help to not only clear energies, but will also help you to raise your money vibrations. And so practicing that every day, super important. The link is usually in my bio or in on my website at kimberlysherry.com. And so that's another good place you can get it. And also, before I move on to this, before I forget, we have a couple things that are coming up. The next, right now we're doing a daily meta clearing. We're doing a daily meta clearing like we do on Friday, but every day for like 20, 30 minutes. And the next one, so this one has been all about love, and we've been inching along, and now we've been preparing for Valentine's Day. So what can we create that will be new and different than what we generally create every year, year after year? So for Valentine's Day, so anyway, that's what this one we're currently doing is all about. The next one we're going to be doing, we'll be starting, I think it's March 4th. And so this is what I wanted to do, but it's really not about me. It's like, well, what do you guys want? What would be the most helpful for all of you? So here's what I'm thinking. So March 4th is all about marching forward. We're going to be stepping into spring, so I want to help prepare you for how you want to step into spring. What do you want to bring forward? Is it more prosperity and abundance? Is it greater health? Is it more love in your life? Maybe it's a little bit of everything. I don't know. But anyway, if you can post and let me know what it is you want me to bring for this next round of meta clearings. We usually do it for about a month. Let me know. It's a group clearing, and it's really powerful because every day we do something a little bit different, and we keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper every day. And it's amazing in this last one how much anger and fears were in the beginning, and now we're in the final third phase, and how much more at ease everyone is, and so much more radiant. It's really fun to watch. At any rate, let's do a quick grounding of everyone's money pile. So this is how easy it can be. You just imagine this huge pile of money out in front of you, and you're going to attach a grounding cord that goes all the way to the center of the planet. That grounding cord. This is all out in front of you, separate from you. And you start draining out all the people that are bringing your money vibration down. Your mother and her hardworking martyr energy beliefs, whether she's alive or not. And your dad's energy and all of his hardworking beliefs. Got to work hard for your money, which is only half true. You can be magnetic too and make it easier. Okay, if you have a partner and any exes, we're going to send that down your grounding. And children, they put really high demands on your money. And then well-meaning friends, well-meaning family. Just sending all of these people and their energies down this grounding cord. And then anyone related to work, whether it's a boss, a work partner, clients, colleagues, whatever. Vendors, people you owe money to. Just send all of them and their energies down the grounding. Anybody we've forgotten. Last but not least, always remember this, to release the 1% out of your money pile, because they own all the money, right? And as we can see, those money systems are crumbling, and it's going to be replaced with something else, and it's going to be slow enough that if you're paying attention, you'll be able to keep up. And if you have a high money vibration, you're going to be attracting clean fuel sources. So let's drain the 1% out. Okay, great. Now you're just going to imagine a liquid gold stream of energy coming out of that money pile. It's going to come into the rings that are above your head, and it's going to recalibrate those dreams and desires with money so that they're in your highest and best interests. It's going to come into your crown, and it's going to, it's stopping right there. Let's go out to the third layer. We're going to pull in the permission circle so you can give yourself permission to have what you desire. It's not up to anybody else. You're in charge of you. You create everything in your life. And once you start really owning that, your whole life changes because you're not going to blame anybody else. You're not going to blame the economy. You're not going to blame your parents. You're not going to blame anyone. You are going to take responsibility. Okay, so we're bringing this golden energy into that crown, into that sixth chakra, down into the heart. So let it stir in here. Let that high money vibration clear all the coulda, woulda, shouldas, all the ways you've been mismanaging money, or maybe you're angry at money. Money won't want to come around if you're angry at money. It's like a person. It's like an entity. So we're just going to clear all of that anger and resentment about money. It doesn't show up when it's supposed to. It's not reliable, blah, blah, blah. Forgive money and bring in gratitude and appreciation for everything you do have right here in the heart. Okay, great. Heart. Bring that money down into the solar plexus. Let it stir in there so you don't have to work hard for your money. You can become more magnetic as well as implementing strategies and plans. As that money comes down into that second chakra, and where it's stopping, go out to that third layer where you are angry at money. Okay. So let's send the anger down the grounding so you don't have to be mad at money anymore. All right, sending that down the grounding. Okay, good. So as money is coming down through that second chakra, spilling down the root, now bring that money up the front through the second and the third and the heart, throat, six, crown, rings, through all the layers of your aura. Pay special attention to that third layer, especially around the solar plexus, getting more of that effort out of there. Okay. And 15th layer, but we're going to start at the bottom because we're going to clear that 1% out of your energy field first. All the way up and out, sending that 1% off planet. Now let that money energy seep down through that 15th layer. And then also the 20th layer, our awakened predator, innate warrior, that most powerful part of our energy field. And if you want to know more about all of this whole system that I do here, my book is available on Amazon. Access Your Ultimate Power, the Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. For those of you who have read it and you've enjoyed it, post a review. That would be so helpful. I'd so appreciate that. Let's jump out to now 30th layer. We're going to start at the bottom, lifting that reptilian energy out of this energy field, allowing this high money vibration to seep down and recalibrating this 30th layer. And then let's bring this money energy out that right arm through the circle of reciprocity as we give out into the economy, because money likes to flow, right? It doesn't like to be stagnant and stuffed under a mattress. It likes to flow. And then we're going to allow the receiving. So it's blocked right at that left hand. Here's the left hand. I do this backwards. So, because I'm working on you, so we're bringing this money vibration up that left hand and arm because you are the one who is responsible for allowing yourself to be more vulnerable and to allow yourself to surrender into the receiving. This is not something you control. So that can be hard for some of you, but necessary. So coming down through the heart, so circle of energy, out the right arm, in the left. This is a circle of reciprocity. We need to give from the heart before we receive. So it's coming through the heart and the throat and the sixth and the crown, and then through all of your rings. All right, excellent. Thank you for coming on, everyone, asking questions and getting clearer about how you can raise your vibrations. I'll be back on Friday with a meta-clearing on something. I haven't decided yet. I wait for Spirit to tell me. And if you have suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions about what you would like to have an energy clearing done on a specific topic, subject. So I'll see you on Friday, and thank you so much for joining and sending much love. Namaste. All right, bye-bye.